Hi, year 10 and year 11. Today we are looking at the subjunctive mode. So first of all, what is the subjunctive? Well, it's not a tense, something important to bear in mind, especially to your 90-worder. This would not fall into any tense category, but more a structure to express a mood, and it's actually a complex structure, so very handy for also your 150-worder. But that is if you are sitting higher the 150-worder. So it's a special kind of present tense. We'll have a look at those verb forms that will remind you of some forms that you already know for the present tense. And it's used after structures that contain that little k there. And remember, there's no equivalent in English. So that's not something you would be able to transfer from English. That's actually quite specific to the French language. So when to use the subjunctive? If you want to express a necessity, il faut que, il est nécessaire que. Wishes and desire, je veux que. After verbs of emotion, je suis content, triste que. Il est important que. Doubt, uncertainty or possibility, je doute que. Je ne pense pas, je ne trouve pas, je ne crois pas que. Il est possible que, it is possible that. And some are, it's after actually following some conjunctions. So pour que, so that, and pourvu que, provided that. So as you can see, it's quite a lot of things to remember, but do not feel you have to learn all of these off by heart. Perhaps choose a couple, and then remember that the verb form that will follow is then the subjunctive. So we are looking together now at 6 sentences. Pause this recording and get back to me, please, once you have been able to spot those subjunctive structures we just went through before, and then start thinking, perhaps, knowing what the rest of the sentence means, what could be that verb form that you are probably seeing for the first time. So I'll let you think about it, pause the recording, and then play it back again once you're ready. All right, let's have a look at this then. I've put in bold first all of these subjunctive structures that we had come across before. And as you can see, we have the que, always, and then we have our verb form. So it's always a regular pattern. The verb is here. For number 5, the second red circle is your verb. So I'm sure that you could work at boire, drink, because we had milk here and then alcohol. J'aille, perhaps it reminded you a little bit of aller, and then it made sense, go to the gym. But then as you can see, soit and face are not really recognizable. You have to have learned them, what is their original verb. So that's something we'll have a look in a minute. I'll go through it in English in case you had managed to do so. So for number 1, it's important I do more sport to be healthy. And these sentences, exercises are mainly based on the topic of healthy living. For number 2, it's necessary I drink more milk. For number 3, I want to be healthier. Number 4, it's important I go to the gym. Number 5, I don't think I am healthy. Number 6, it's possible that my dad drinks too much alcohol. So how do we form regular verbs? It's important to remember that I'm only talking about regular verbs here. Well, first of all, take the third person plural and take the il form in the present tense, and then we have got il mange. Now get rid of the il, the ent, and then you've got the right stem, the right part of that verb, so that you make sure you always have the right first part of the verb. Now let's have a look at your endings now. Next, I've got some good news. I'll let you look at that table. You already know the subjunctive endings. So can you recognize now what are these endings there? E-E-S-E, E-E-S-E, E-N-T, E-N-T. So well done if you thought of the present tense, because these are the present tense endings. And what about the I-O-N-S-I-Z? Which tense is that? Do you remember? And well done if you thought of the imperfect tense. So that's the beauty of French in some ways, is that sometimes when you've been working really hard on your conjugation of your verbs and their endings, well, it's already a lot of work done for some of the modes like this one or tenses, because you already know the job is already done. So I think that's great news for you. So now, let's have a look at what those regular verbs will look like. You know, we talked about taking the il form in the present tense, get rid of the ending, and we've got mange left. For verbs ending in IR, like finir, that will be finis. And regular verbs like RE, that will be like vendre, vende. So you see that completely out of context and without our que structures, it looks like present tense all over here, imperfect tense all over here, and then finally there again some present tense. So that's really important we get those structures at the start to know then that we're in the subjunctive form. Now the irregulars, have a look at them, they change a lot. So we'll have que j'aille, que nous allions, que vous alliez, que j'ai, que nous ayons, que vous ayez, que je sois, que nous soyons, que vous soyez, que je fasse. I'll put my little spotlight here. Que nous fassions, que vous fassiez, que je prenne, que nous prenions, que nous preniez, que je puisse, que nous puissions, que vous puissiez, que je sache, que nous sachions, que vous sachiez, que je veuille, que nous voulions, que nous vous vouliez. And I've not said the other forms because actually they are written, as you know, differently, but they sound the same. Again, that's the beauty of French grammar. But it's for you to get to realize that irregulars are really, really irregulars. So perhaps good idea to have this printed, stuck on your wall in your bedroom, and then to just regularly have a look at them, and then hopefully you can just get to memorize them on the long term. The more you look at them, the better. So now let's do a little bit of practice. I'll let you pause the recording and translate these sentences in English. And just a little tip before you start. For translation, always carefully look at the sentence you're trying to translate. See if there is or not a transferable structure. So it's like that set of structure. In that context of our lesson, that would be the subjunctive structure with que. Then look at your verb. Which verb is it? Is it a regular one, an irregular one? And then look at the vocabulary that follows. And then hopefully en retard, la réponse, en train, all these you're familiar with. Nous puissions, il sache, all your verbs, elle soit. And then here are your then subjunctive structures. Il est possible que, je ne pense pas que, il faut que. So good luck, and I see you once you're done. Right, so let's have a look at how you translated these three sentences. It's possible she's late. I don't think he knows the answer. And for number 3 was, we have to be able to travel by train. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Gosh, it looks like the present tense in English. Yes, but in French, that's the thing. These are structures followed by a subjunctive. So you would not be able to say, il est possible qu'elle est en retard. That would be literally translated. You would not be able to say either, je ne pense pas, il sait la réponse. Again, that doesn't quite work. For number 3, il faut que nous sommes capables de voyager en train. Again, that would not work. So it's really knowing that those verbs. Okay, now more difficult. We are going to do the other way around. This time, these sentences are in English, and I would like you to try to work out the French. So play this recording again once you're done. Again, take the time to have a look at the sentence beforehand, please. Split it into 3 parts. My subjunctive structure. Use what we have done at the start of the lesson. The form of my verb, is it a regular one? Therefore, I can work it out knowing the infinitive, or maybe an irregular one. I just have to know what it is, and then the rest of the sentence that is vocabulary based. All right, so I'll let you pause and get back to me when you're ready. Right, so let's see how you've done on those sentences. So first of all, for number one, we had il est nécessaire que je sois en bonne santé. So that's this verb form here, and do not forget your que. For number two, we had, sorry, it's taking a few seconds, pour que je sois en bonne santé, je vais manger plus de fruits. Number three, je suis contente que je fasse beaucoup d'exercices. Number four, je ne pense pas que je sois stressée. Number five, je veux que tu sois en meilleure santé. And number six, il est important qu'on mange plus de légumes. So hopefully you have never forgotten your que. You have chosen the right form of the verb. And then you have remembered your key vocabulary. So now I'd like to advise you to watch this video. It would not work properly for me to share my screen now and play it from YouTube. So I'll let you follow the link. And it's quite a nice song where you have some examples of curse structures that you can see here, followed by a verb with the subjunctive form.